All right, now just to give everybody an overview and details on this project. This is my 1971 Chevrolet C10. It is ochre and white. Same year, same color my grandpa had when I was growing up. The reason for pulling the transmission out is because of this mangled transmission cross member, which I do have a replacement right up here that I cleaned up and rattle canned. I do have new control arms because the original control arms were also bent, probably from the same hit. My upper control arms, and started trying to take the ball joints out. I have new, the white box up there is a wiring harness, a cowl panel. The ground boxes on the right there are suspension parts. I have upper and lower ball joints, of which obviously new control arms came with upper ball joint or lower ball joints, so I won't need the lowers that I have in that set. I have the suspension cross member there that I'm working on cleaning up. 3-inch drop rear springs, 3-inch drop front springs. I don't like the so-called leveling kits. I like them the way they sit from the factory, just a hair lower. So you can see I have an extra door. My driver's door is a little banged up. The hinge area don't work. It didn't latch correctly because this was torched at some point. So the plan is to cut metal out of this door to replace that hinge area so I can make my original door latch better, even though it's dinged up. It is not as rusty as this one on the bottom. You know, which does have a 12-volt rear end. Up there in the corner is the original 250. Now this is where it differs from my grandpa's truck. My grandpa had a 350 combo, and his was a Cheyenne, but doing the best I can. I did have a 6-liter I was going to put in this, hooked up to the SM465, but as you may have seen from the first video, I sold the 6-liter so I could pick up this Model T body. And I've been gathering parts and stacking it here like a model kit. See some wheels back there, the bed's over there. Some old 60s Ford taillights I've had for a while, 48 Ford truck gauge cluster I've had for probably 25 years. The gas pedal, the foot gas pedal, I've had since I was a teenager. Just picked up some headlights with some stanchions and the turn signals, along with a reverse Corvair Speedway steering box. Model A frame hanging up, or leaning up against the wall. Was a gift from a friend, Mike. Thank you, Mike. So I am looking for some kind of motor, transmission, rear end, front suspension for this guy, and the rest I can figure out as I go. Original plans, if I would have been able to keep the 6-liter, I would have dropped this 250 in there. The 250 runs. This whole project started when I found leaky rear main seal after I put a new carburetor on the engine. So I pulled the front clip off, hurt my leg. That's still healing a year and a half later. But now the plan is get this frame all cleaned up, put the 250 back in there, and go from there. If I find something in the meantime to replace the 250 in this, if I get a small block, whatever, I'll do that. Or maybe I'll find a small block to put in the Model T. Well, anyhow, this is some more of the model kit. The tailgate I'm going to reuse. The rear panel from the back of the bed will probably end up replacing. It is quite rough and my welding skills are not up to par. Bed sides I'm going to keep. There is some rough edges that I can patch up on that one. The driver's side has a big ding in it that I can bang out, but most of the floor rail is missing from behind the wheel well on this guy on the driver's side. But I will probably try and patch that in because I want to try and keep as much of the original colored panels as I can for now. The front panel of the bed is really rough. So the bottom of the passenger side of the bed was sitting down about 2 inches because the farmers in the Dakotas, they nailed OSB on top of the original bedwood, and it held water and rusted everything out. Even the roll on the rail here is rusted out, so I'll probably end up replacing that panel and maybe using some of that sheet metal for patches for somewhere else. Yeah, the heater box there, I did end up pulling 4 or 5 dead mice out of that. The original manual steering box there, I did manage to pick up a power steering setup. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that right away or not. And just miscellaneous parts all over. And also, I'm bouncing around here because I am not good at this, but coming back to the rear, I'm not sure if these are factory helper springs or what. That's just some sawdust because I was cutting boards on there. But I will be pulling those off, and if anybody has a use for them, they are up for sale. It's something I just noticed when pulling the drive shaft out. This cross member may not be in the greatest shape. I'll clean it up the best I can. If I have to replace it, that's a bridge I'll cross when I get there. Otherwise, I'm building a driver, a work truck, a shop truck, if you will. So my goal is to just get a simple driver that's somewhat clean that'll last me a few years. No. Anyhow, I'm not sure what you can see right now, but that is it for this time. Get the best part in there. Oh, that does not include me. So, take it easy. And remember, no 0 days. That means get out in the shop, do something every day. No matter how little, progress is progress. Have a good one, everybody.